What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Georgia Bassmaster channel. Just doing a little short video. My absolute favorite winter, fall, all of that. When it's starting to get cold right now, like this is the first time I've worn a hoodie all year. So it's time for the good fishing. This is my favorite time of year to fish. Just giving you like 4 or 5 baits and setups on how to use them this time of year if you really want to step your game up, catch a bunch of fish, because everybody quits fishing this time of year for football, deer hunting. And I fish all year long. I'm going to be producing content, never stops for you guys. So I've had to really learn how to fish for these fish. Obviously, if you're as far up north as there's ice on the water, you're not going to be able to throw some of the things like I'm throwing today, like crankbaits and Alabama rigs. So first thing we have up on the list is this 5XD crankbait from Strike King. You're going to want a good rod and reel setup on this. I actually have 2 rod setups. This one right here is the Lew's 3XD rod. I have the Lew's 5XD as well. Got the BB1 Pro. You want a slower gear ratio, like a 6:2:1 gear ratio. And this rod actually has a lot of giveaway. So what that does is it's going to take a lot of that load off the crankbait. If you guys know, throwing a crankbait will wear you out if you don't have the right setup. So definitely get you a good setup. So the 5XD hitting about 15 foot. You can get the 6XD, 8XD if you guys are wanting to fish deeper than that. But generally, I found that this time of year, they're hanging about 10 to 15 foot. So that's going to be your 5XD range and also your 3XD. Your 3XD is about 10 foot. Your 5XD is about 15 foot. I carry a rod with both of these tied on. I throw the 5XD for a little while, the 3XD for a little while. Find you a hump, a point, a drop off. Somewhere these fish are going to be hanging in that fall transition mode because they're coming out of that deep water. I'm talking 25 foot. That they've been in the summertime, hunkered down. They're starting to come up to about the 10 foot range. Some of them are further down, so want to be getting those fish. Crankbaits is how you do it. I love these two. These are my 2 favorite. This one right here is the natural shad color, and that right there is straight killer. I don't exactly remember the color I have on this one, but it just imitates, this is the 3XD, it just imitates a natural shad. So that is lure number 1 you guys are going to want to use. Lure number 2, absolute favorite bait. You can throw this bait all year round, but specifically there are 2 different ones you want to throw this time of year, and that is your jerkbait. Now right here I have the Strike King KVD Elite. This thing runs about 5 to 7 foot. Now this jerkbait right here is a little more on the pricey side, just because it has a few key features like weighted back end. It throws a lot better, casts a lot better. Just the action all around, overall performance. The KVD Elite 300, definitely a good bait. Now this one right here, the Strike King KVD Deep. You see how big the bill is on this thing? This thing right here dives down to 11 foot. So great bait, I promise you. You definitely need a good jerkbait rod for a lure like this. And let me show you what I have. This right here is a Lew's custom jerkbait rod, and it's a 6 foot 8 inch rod, a shorter size. I like the shorter size because generally you're working that rod tip down, and if you got a 7.5 foot rod, your tip's going to be kept continually hitting the water, hitting the boat. So I have a short rod, and this is a medium light action rod, so it's got a lot of whip to it. But I personally, the stronger you can whip that jerkbait, the more bites I've had. So the Lew's Custom Light, or just get you some type of medium light or a medium action rod. You don't want to go medium heavy. I promise you, you'll regret it. So medium light to medium on your jerkbait rods. That's the way to go. Right here I just have the Strike King 300, kind of like I was showing you right there. I've already caught quite a few fish on this rod right here, so there's your another bait. The next bait, now this one's getting into, it's good right now, but it works a little bit better when it's the water temperature's cooler. But I mean, really right now it's great too. But I throw this. So right now we have the old Alabama hammer, the Alabama rig. I personally don't like the one with a bunch of blades on it. I try to get them bladeless if possible. Sometimes blades, they like them, but generally I do better without the blades right here. And we have a 7 foot 11 inch extra heavy Lew's custom Super Duty rod right here. This thing right here will sling an Alabama rig, and the rod barely bends, and it really gets them. I have 20 pound fluoro on there. This is one of the only setups I'm not running braid to fluoro. So straight 20-pound fluoro on this thing right here. These are the smaller 4-inch swim baits. And as it gets colder, I'll just upgrade the size to like 5.5-inch boot tail swim bait. So that's bait number 3. Bait number 4 right here, the big glide bait. And this is going to come into clutch more along the shallow water, especially as it gets a little bit cooler, and during the day these fish will kind of come up shallow to heat up and then go back down. But this right here is just a 7-inch river to sea glide bait right here. This is a 7-foot 6-inch heavy rod, not extra heavy. You can go extra heavy, so heavy to extra heavy if you want to throw these glide baits, depending on how heavy a one you're throwing. If you're throwing anything bigger than this, you definitely want an extra heavy. Also, slow gear ratio. This one's a 6/8 to 1. I need to put another BB1 6/2 on this thing because you want a slower gear ratio reel on that, and on the Alabama rig if I didn't mention that. But this is a good little setup. Catch you some giants. If you guys have stuck around the channel very long, you know I've caught a lot of big ones on this thing. And of course the last bait, bait number 5, you can never go wrong with, the old thunder cricket. And this time of year I pretty limit myself on just a couple colors, mainly shad type colors and crawfish type colors, because I've said on the channel before, crawfish actually spawn twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring. And when crawfish spawn, they're actually bright red, and every other time of the year they're normally brown. So if you're throwing like a red crawfish color in the summer, those crawfish are really brown. That's more their natural color. Unless they spawn, that's when they turn bright red. I actually have, if I can find it, this is the Strike King Thunder Cricket Fire Crawl. Imitate those spawning crawfish. And then to pair up with it, I have the Strike King Rage Swimmer Fire Crawl tails. These things right here catch you some giants, especially this time of year. So that's color number 1, the Fire Crawl. Color number 2, I would stick more towards the natural type. This right here is the Thunder Cricket Tour Grade. And what this is it has a tungsten head, smaller head, casts easier, weighs more, makes a lot more sound in the water. If you hit a rock or something, it's really going to ting. And it costs you a little bit more to get this, but I say it's worth the money. Right here's the Blue Glimmer. This is probably my favorite color. Right here, you can put you a white paddle tail on there, a whitish blue, something with silver flake. This thing will match up perfectly. Color number 2. This is just the olive shad. So like I said, I'm sticking towards the shad type colors and the crawfish type colors for the Thunder Crickets. Everything else is just straight shad. I throw straight shad colors on everything. So this time of year, bass are kind of like, think of it like a bear. When a bear goes into hibernation mode and they really just feed up on as much as they can, so bass kind of do the same. They're trying to develop that winter fat, and they go on an absolute feeding frenzy on shad, anything they can get their hands on, and they get fat. So you catch some really fat bass in the fall, during the winter, and yeah, they eat a lot, and a lot of people are missing out on them for hunting season, football, whatever. But that's pretty much all for that. I'm going to be going out maybe tomorrow. I can probably implement some of these things. I might include it in this video, might make it a video of its own. But just got the shoal bass hats in. Check that out. Got the shoal bass. We got the PINESIDE on the inside. So pretty good looking hat. I have the link for this in the description down below. I love it. So you guys can support me. You can go to PINESIDE's website, place your order of a hat. This is technically my hat. We designed it together. You can use code Georgia to save 15% off your order. Like I said, it'll be down in the description below. Please support the channel, support PINESIDE, and yeah, go down, click that link. Ghost door. My garage door just literally opened by itself. Strange. So yeah, that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.